again, everyone. Welcome to another riveting adventure. I don't know which channel I'm going to put this on, but maybe both. Today's video is about stopping squealing brakes. My front brakes are squealing like hell on the Adventra, so I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. I'm just going to show you what you need to do this job. It's pretty simple, but there's going to be a bit of fancy photography in this, so you know, strap yourself in. Hang on, pause it. Oh, you're kidding. So, excuse me. The first thing you'll need is a 18mm open-ended spanner. Sorry, it's out of shot. The next thing you'll need is a 12mm ring spanner. Okay. Then the next thing you'll need is some copper anti-seize grease. And the last thing is a little bit of brake grease, brake parts grease. Okay. So now we're going to head out to the car. I've already jacked it up. I've got the driver's side wheel off. I'm going to do one side at a time because I couldn't be bothered putting two jack stands under it and jacking up in the middle. So we'll head out there now. Okay, I hope you can see I've tried to set it up the best I can. It's actually got a light on. Hang on. So the light is not actually facing the job. So hang on. I think that's good enough. We're going to go with that. The light's not doing anything, so I'll turn it off. This is where we're working. I'm not taking the actual caliper frame off, just the caliper itself. So 18mm up here, just up there. I'm pretty sure I've made this video before, but I'll do it again. And because I'm going to grease these slides too, there's two pins. I'll show you later. Oh, if you're lucky, I might. I don't know. It's pretty secret, this stuff. So you're just taking this out, which is a 12mm bolt. If I'm not feeling too lazy, I'll put the sizes up on the screen, but now we're just going to go down to the bottom one. I have to adjust this so you can see. Righto, we're just going to do the same down here. I am trying to improve the filming of these videos, so you know, I haven't won any awards yet. I don't know why. Might help if I put this the right way. I'm supposed to be pushing, not pulling, but the camera's in the way. You can see this is moving already, but alright. I hope I moved the camera. I'm just taking this 12mm bolt out. I'm going to sit. I really need to sit the caliper somewhere, or probably not. Anyway, the pads are going to stay there for now. This is coming off. I'll just set it up for now because now I've got to figure out a way to show you. Are you still on there? Yes, you are. That's good. You didn't go anywhere. Alright, so there's two pistons. I'll just show you on this pad. You can see the marks from the two pistons, and the pad vibrates, and these bloody metal pieces on the back of the brake pad itself are supposed to eliminate that, but they're not doing a very good job. So I'm going to put, I show you, because I don't hide anything, mate, you know. I'm going to put some of this copper anti-seize grease on. Magic. Alright. So I've got to be careful because you don't want to get any of this on the front. Otherwise you'll be running a few red lights. So I'm just going to smear that around the back here. And already it looks like it's trying to head around the front. So that is probably too much. But I'll show you. I'll just show you what I'm doing. It should work. It usually does. I'm going to, that's what I've done. But I'm going to smear some on the end of the pistons too. So I'm just using the excess off the back of this pad. Now, I've done this before on the older cars because they don't have that metal piece on the back of your pad. So I'll show you. I'll try and show you what I'm doing here, but I'm just smearing. I know you can't see it, but it means I've got to keep adjusting the camera. I've just smeared a bit of grease. I'll show you. Would have been good if I brought a rag, but you know I'm really bad for that. I never ever bring rags out, but I don't know how much of this you're going to see, but I've just smeared the grease around the pistons. And on the front, I don't know what that's going to do, but it'll help the back. So it's probably not going to do much, but I just want to try and stop it from squealing. So what I'll do, I'm going to go and get a rag and I'll come back. So I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do. Alright, the camera went off. I'm just going to put this up a bit. So I've sort of, that was great. I'll give you a bum's theory because that outside one doesn't, the pistons don't actually make any contact with it. I should have just greased around where it, I can see here there's flat surfaces on the outside of the caliper, which I'll try and show you. This light, I'll put a light on top of this and now it's going to get in the way. There's flat surfaces in here that I'm going to grease up. I don't think it was the outside one that was causing the problem anyway. So we're going to take that inside pad out, do the same. Yeah, I think I found the problem. This metal piece on the back is very loose. It's not actually gripping, and it was sort of sitting down like that. I think that's the main problem. But you know, even in old cars, if you want to stop the squealing, just grease the back of the, put a little bit of grease on the back of your pads. This one here, I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to go and try and fix this up so it clips on a bit better. So I'll be back in a minute. Righto, so what I'm going to do, so I made a bit of a mistake there. You don't have to put that much grease on that outer one. So what I'll do is I'll put that back in and wipe off the excess because it's still going to, it still makes contact here. And I'll show you what I've done. I've actually got this backing plate to stay on there properly now, but I'm going to grease up around where the pistons make contact for this, but also before we get started on that, and I'll try and get you in there, in here, if I can show you, like I said, this light, there's a light and a microphone on top. It's going to get in the way, but there's slides in there where your brake pads slide. I'm going to put that blue grease, that brake grease in there. I'll give you a better look on the outside one, but I'll just do these inner ones. And you'll be able to see a bit better on the outer ones. Don't need tons of grease. So just in here. Oh, look at that. Got it all. How do you get brake grease all over yourself? I managed to. I might put some on the actual pad itself. I reckon that's probably a better way to do it. So, like I said, you'll be able to see better when I get on the outer pad. I'm just putting grease inside there, but I think it's better to actually put it on the pad. So I'll do that in a minute. I'm just going to put that copper grease on like I did on the other one. And I'll show you as soon as I get some on there. Don't need a lot. Don't need a lot, he says, as he puts a whole tube on. Okay. So, I don't want you just staring at that all day, so I'm just smearing some of this around here. Maybe some of that can go on the... See, these are the... See those square bits on the end here? That's what you're greasing in there, in the slides. Even a bit of this stuff probably won't hurt. Just got to be careful working around the face of the pad. I'm going to spread this around. You can just go across like that. And probably do that. I've got the blue grease already in there. So what I'm going to do now is this can go back in. So, you know, there's probably a 99.9% chance that I'm going to get grease on the front of that. But anyway, she's in there. I'm not going to put any more on the pistons. Now I'm going to move you around to the other side. And I'll try and give you a better look at what I was doing. We're going to come around here. Now, I can't film both at once, so what I'll do... Sorry, I should make camera adjustments when I'm not filming, but when you've got dirty hands and you don't want to be touching the bloody... I'm doing it with a phone today. I usually have a GoPro, but GoPros... I don't know how many of you have struck this problem, but you can't... No, that's not good. You can't pause it. You can't actually pause filming like you can with these. Alright, I'm going to try and put some here. So I'll put some there on the edge and do the same on the other side. Just so the pads will slide. And when I've done this, I'll put that back in. You can see there, it's plenty greased up. But now what we're going to do, now this is the other thing I wanted to show you. We're going to do the slides, the caliper slides, the pins that go in. This is going to be a bit difficult for me to show you, but I think we'll start with the bottom one. Alright, you can see the bottom one there. Why is it with these effing bloody tripods, you never get them in the right place. Right, there's a rubber boot, you get that off. That's your slide. Now you can see I've done it before. So I'm going to wipe it and redo it. And I've probably got more grease on my fingers than anywhere else. But I'll show you if I can, because I'm only using these satchel things. Get them at super cheap. I'm not sponsored, but I would say anything if they did sponsor me. Now, just rub it around. Just like that. And we'll only film one side. I'm not going to... Then you just push it back in. And you've got to pop your rubber boot. If they're in good nick, they'll go over really easy. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So what we'll do now, I'll just give you another... In case he's walked out to go to the toilet or something. I'll wipe this one off. Or you fell asleep. I'm going to do this one. So we're going to squeeze what's left of this crap here. And put that on. And mate, you know what? You'd feel the difference in these brakes. You'll put them on, mate, you'll go through the windscreen. Righto. No, you won't go through the windscreen. You'll probably bounce off the dash first. Oh no, just joking. Alright, so I'll have to lift the tripod up. I'll try and show you what I'm doing. This is going back in here. Same thing, but of course I've got the caliper in the way now. So just sort of balance. Just want that to go the other way for a minute. Push that in and pop the boot over. Okay. Now it's pretty simple. We're going to put the caliper back on. Preferably without knocking the camera arse overhead. Okay. You know there's a clip on the outer pad that goes over the outside of the caliper, so I'll show you that. Just there. You've got to pull that clip out, clip it over there. I think that's about it. I'm just going to put the bolts back in. See this excess grease? I'm going to wipe that off. All that excess grease. Because I just went stupid. But I'll do that later. You don't need to see that. So we're going to put the bolt back in. I'll just get the top one in. I know you can't see it, but I'm not up to anything dodgy. Just putting the top one back in. Get your 18mm and 12. Right, so the only reason I'm struggling for a bit of room is because the camera's in the way, but I'm so dedicated to my audience that this is what I'm doing. So like I said, that anti-squeal plate on the inner pad wasn't sort of clipped on very well, and it looks like it'll move. So that was probably the main cause of what was going on. But this procedure that I've just shown you will work on all cars, especially the older ones. Like I said, you got an old Holden or something with disc brakes. They came in the late HD Holden and went all the way through as an option. So the early stuff doesn't have that anti-squeal plate on it. Okay, that's it. And she's all done. I'm going to go and do the other side now. But anyway, please like, share and subscribe. I hope that was of some use to somebody. And I'll see you in the next one.